Welcome back to Dark Nexus. Tonight, it's Act 3, Chapter 142. So we're picking up in the late afternoon, early evening of the 10th of Abadius, the end of day 61 on the boat, mile 813. At the rate we've traveled, thanks to all of Dawick's magical assistance, Skywin is now estimating it's less than 3 weeks until you reach Casimir. This voyage is in the home stretch, y'all. So we have halted for the day, and we're just about to anchor for the evening when you all caught sight of a group of small, bright, white lights hovering and, dare I say, dancing in the high branches of the Verduran forest, which now towers above you and over you on both sides of the river. They're on the Andorran side, so the west side now, which is opposite from all the recent activity in Galt. Senator Daldomain saw them with a palpable sense of relief and has indicated that they are a signal he was told to expect, and he just had named his mysterious benefactors as the Stardust Augurs. And then everybody yelled at me about making checks. So anybody who wants to make checks can make checks.
What kind of checks
Local?
do we make?
I think local would be the appropriate check here.
For the record, I did not yell at you about making a knowledge check.
I did.
Thank you, Robert.
I don't know that I yelled at you, but I
not
thought
apologizing
it.
for it.
Paul's still glaring at me.
Dungeoneering?
Yes.
Nature?
Damn it.
All right, what do we get?
20.
25.
With the 25, Vic has loosely heard of the existence of this organization and knows them to be a sect, basically, of the Church of Desna. And they are a group of Desna worshippers who are known to study dreams and portents specifically. Their group is populated heavily by psychic spellcasters, which, even though we have one, in our company, is, as I've said 1,000 years ago, is actually pretty rare in this world. So they gathered together a lot of psychic spellcasters and, of course, clerics of Desna, and they study the messages that Desna sends to her followers in dreams, and again, specifically portents. And ever since Eridan died, the whole idea about predicting...
Who is Eridan again?
Eridan was the god who died about 100 years before this campaign began, who was all tied up in, amongst other things, fate. He was the god of prophecy. Basically, prophecy was a going concern for all of Galarian's history until 100-odd years ago when this god died. Ever since then, the ability to tell the future, the ability to know the future, basically fractured, and all prophecy was broken and shattered. So what Desna does with her followers is probably not truly sending them information about what will happen, but maybe, according at least to the Stardust Augurs, deeply involved with sending messages to her followers in their dreams about what is happening.
Little nudges of what you might want to help with.
Or what you should know this is going on. And of course, to process that information in a dream is just something that, it's very, very hard to do. But this group of psychics and clerics is focused on their firm belief that Desna is constantly speaking to her worshippers of the truth of what is happening right now. And if you can parse those messages and you can see through the layers of metaphor and confusion when messages are delivered to you in a dreamscape, that you might be able to, uncover actionable intelligence from them.
Harlar would be totally down with these guys.
So the senator received messages in Isar, in the capital of Galt, from this group, not from this particular sect, but was told to rendezvous with a particular group of the Stardust Augurs who would be able to take him in and protect him for a time.
So that's interesting that they are choosing him to, kind of focus an effort on.
Yeah.
That it's indicative of him being important.
Yes.
It's something bigger than maybe Galt.
Johnny the player is like, are we supposed to be reach out to them because they realize that we might be in the midst of helping the senator.
Yeah, are we the reason he's important?
Big shrug, who knows? So, as the four of you are processing, what the senator has said, and Skywin is there with you, Dabs. So, this sounds like this is the group that the senator wishes to be delivered to. Does it feel all right with you, Dabs?
Yeah, that feels all right to me.
All right.
Should we check it out first, make sure it's okay?
That sounds like a plan. Why don't I let you... We'll pull the boat over here, let you sort of hike down the last quarter of a mile there and meet them on foot.
Sounds good.
Senator, if you don't mind waiting here, we'll just have them confirm that all is on the up and up. I'm guessing this is Stasi.
Well, I
What do you
was going
think?
to say, with the telepathic bond,
Yeah.
Dora could bond with all of you, and she has detect thoughts. That is useful. Stasi also
Absolutely.
has multiple other spells and things that are detect evil, detect good, so I guess you guys decide who you want with you.
If Dora is feeling like squirrely and is like, I want to go.
Yes, I would imagine that at this point there
Yeah.
is an urgency
Yeah.
to kind of want to be part of things.
Yeah.
Great.
All right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
So before they go, she'll cast telepathic bond on all of us.
Okay.
She may at some point ask you to say something on her behalf. I don't
Yes.
think there's any way to transfer a diplomacy roll through there, so don't count on that. But you can also talk to her privately if you are like, would you kindly cast detect thoughts on this person?
And,
To see
and
if they-
Dora,
yeah.
Dora can speak. She's capable of speaking.
Yeah.
It's
I think
like,
she's self-conscious about
Oh,
it.
she's okay. She's feeling awkward.
She can't hear herself.
So,
Good to have you back, I think.
Skywin
I
brings
think so too.
Skywin brings the ship over near the shore, and you're able to leap out and wade to shore. There's a nice long stretch of shallow water leading up to a nice sandy beach like you had encountered a few days earlier when you first picked up the senator. And as you are making your way down towards those lights, you encounter a slow reveal of what ends up being about 10 to 12 ranger and druid types who had been hiding amongst the trees, both low and high, who, as you come within range, they step out in a gesture of, see that I'm here. Weapons are down, and they gesture you forward down to where the lights are dancing. And you can see a group of people now coming out from the tree cover towards the beach. Looks to be about 5 folks, 4 of whom are dressed in what looks to be all in white, and one mostly in white. The one in the lead seems to be a woman, and she has her hands above her head as she's gesturing up towards the trees, and she closes her hand in a fist, and the dancing lights wink out. She had clearly been the one casting this spell. A human woman in her early 40s, wearing a very bright, clean white blouse. She's got pale, olivey skin, piercing, smoky blue eyes, and long, wavy hair with a striking white stripe. She has a holy symbol around her neck, probably unsurprisingly, a silver butterfly, and I've got art for her here for you.
Good traveling wear.
Yes, she looks ready to move, as do all of these folks. Most of the rangery, druidy types that you've passed are all in very similar outfits to those half-orcs on the other side of the river. They're all in greens and browns. They are all dressed to move and be concealed in the forest. This group looks a little more cleric-y, a little less designed to hide, but they are dressed definitely to move. They look like folks who live their life on the road. And she holds up a hand in greeting as you approach. Hello, my name is Hadrana. Do you know why I'm here? Will you speak a name for me?
Senator Emilio Daldemain.
He's with you then.
He's close.
Will he be joining us?
As long as everything checks out.
All right.
Is there anything that we can tell him from you to?
If you would like, you can visit our camp first before the senator disembarks, and you are welcome, all of you that wish to eat with us tonight, and if you wish to have a night's sleep off of your vessel, you may have that as well. But will you follow me?
I'm assuming one of you at least is telling Dora what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a little translating going on, yeah.
That could be Dabwick's job. Since they can't do anything else. Sense motive.
Great.
Yeah, do the sense motive on
Yeah.
that. No, that was a 5 on the die.
You can ask them if they would be willing to subject themselves to detect thoughts if we are wary.
27 sense motive.
She seems as advertised. I think as you're watching this whole group of people, you would sense that the folks in the trees are watching very carefully and very diligently, looking alert for danger. That the 3 or 4 women in white dresses with black trim that are with Hadrana are giving a lot of respect and attention and trust to Hadrana. Mm-hmm. And Hadrana does not seem to be concealing anything or lying.
This feels like it's maybe like 2 to 3 different groups of people that are working together.
Yeah, that seems fair. But it seems like everybody is regarding Hadrana with a great deal of
She's in
respect.
charge.
Yes.
Got it.
What is it about the senator that is so God's awful important?
Mother Moon has been sending messages to one of my fellows on the other side of the river.
Is that another name for Disney?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
You can ask that of Dora privately.
Yeah, all right. Okay, yes.
Yes, it is.
He's known to be in great danger for his many good works. He is also suspected to be capable of great good in that city that is traumatized right now with so much chaos. If he were to remain there, it is our belief he would lose his head. So we are hoping to keep it on his shoulders and do what we can to restock his resources whilst we can. For the moment, my job is quite simple. I'm to hide him here for a brief period of time and then deliver him back across the river when we get word that it is safe to do so. So we're keeping him here in Andoran for a brief period of time. Allow the temperature to cool off for a bit, if you know what I mean.
Dora, how are you feeling about this? You want to detect thoughts or you want to... Yeah, okay.
She nods.
Obviously, the senator has some concerns, as do we. Would you be willing to submit to a spell of detect thoughts from our companion here?
Yes, I would. What is your name?
Her name is Dora.
Dora. You understand me?
He relays it via thought.
Yeah.
Dora nods.
You may cast whatever you wish on me.
She casts a detect thoughts.
All right, she does not resist, and she lets you swim around in a little soup of cares and concerns of running a camp of people and taking care of a sect of her organization with folks that are very young and need a lot of guidance. And she considers herself to be a teacher, and she considers herself to be a caretaker, something of a mother to all of them, although she's never had children herself. Why am I thinking about having children? Well, I guess this is where my mind is going. So she's kind of letting her brain riff.
Dora is smiling as this goes on, and she turns to her companions and nods
All right,
warmly.
good enough for me.
You're all here to protect the senator.
At the moment, my chief concern is the senator's safety, yes, but we have a life that is rich in both the waking world and whilst we sleep. We do much.
Dora laughs.
I bet we all do.
We all chuckle at that.
You don't fucking say.
You know something of the dream.
Too much sometimes.
It is literally my life's work to catalog and understand everything there is to understand about the dimension of dreams. If you have had any experiences there that you would be willing to share with me tonight, I would consider it to be the greatest gift you could possibly give me.
You ever been there?
I have trained my whole life to... Do you understand the concept of lucidity in the dimension of dreams?
Yeah.
I have spent my life, as have all of us, training ourselves to become lucid every time we dream, so that in every dreamscape we enter, we may be alert and open and receptive to all that Mother Moon may say to us. And in the rare instances that we are gifted with a journey to another dreamscape, say, there is a dreamscape called the Dreamlands. I'm sure you would never have had calls to.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. You ever been there?
You've been to the Dreamlands?
Oh, spent half a year there.
Vic, be careful.
But we should probably go get the senator. That's why we're here.
All right. And bring whoever you wish. You are all welcome to eat with us tonight. You're welcome to sleep here if you wish as well. Although if you wish to stay on your vessel, I understand. We will wait for you here. Piece of carrot. So you can step away and talk amongst yourselves if you wish.
So we're walking back,
Great.
mumbling to one another.
Or just actually talking
You don't have
telepathically.
to.
Yeah, talking telepathically to one another.
I mean, she seems awful fucking eager to.
I would say the best we could give her is a warning to cease and desist her efforts.
Well, that's not exactly true. The best we could offer is a ticket there. I
It
don't know
would
if
be
that's-
hard to convince a woman who's studied her whole life to now let it go, just based on our word.
And I want to put a pin in this too. You know, something that it's easy for us to forget because your entire characters' lives have been so
Yeah.
focused on, we go to the Dreamlands every other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other people have spent their entire
rituals,
lives just
Trying to
even
get there.
trying to
Yeah.
stay awake enough when they're there by accident to remember what they saw,
Yeah.
much less even going there.
I would never invite her into our ritual, as we are only able to go to particular places, none of which are safe for anyone not involved in our endeavor.
True.
No, the Oasis isn't too dangerous.
There's just that thing that almost fucking killed you, and that did kill Dabs.
And it wasn't dangerous when we left it, but we don't know what shape it's going to be in when we go back.
Although it'd be nice to see YK again.
We will.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should take her.
No, I don't. I don't even think we should tell her we know how to get there. If we spend the evening with her and trust her enough, I suppose. But for me, that is off the table.
Is there a book you're no longer reading that you might loan her?
That is what I had in mind. If in the morning we feel she could handle it. This is certainly probably a group of people who could perform the ritual themselves, but it would be handing her a very dangerous object.
Yeah.
And we would be responsible for that.
It would also be maybe a safe place to put it.
I suppose that is one way of looking at it.
Yeah. Everything has a different perspective depending on how you look at it, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I assume you will escort the senator and his retinue there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to invite anyone on the ship to come ashore, or are you going to advise against that?
I think, I mean,
Because you can pass
I
along
think
that
Stasi
message or
wants
not.
to go, but her concern is the ship okay if she leaves?
Right.
yeah, that would be a whole question of, like, we don't necessarily get to invite people there. It would be up to the captain to give
Yeah.
people leave or not.
Right.
So,
But it is up to you to mention the invitation or
yeah,
not.
yeah. I think we would definitely mention it to the captain and say, you know,
Cap, there's an invitation to dine and stay the night if we'd like to. It's up to us.
And this seems like a trustworthy
Yeah.
group of individuals.
A very warm and welcoming group, yes.
I checked out.
And they are concerned with Desna.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll pass the message around the crew and I'll say, you know, talk with Ketson, and if there's a small handful of folks who wish to, you know, travel ashore, maybe get a meal there, that would be fine with me. I'll talk to the crew.
Might be useful too in terms of having another connection along the river.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vic. I think in the end, I mean, obviously Harlar. But Harlar, when he shows up to join this group going ashore, he has not shaken this haunted look in the last, week and a half since the new year, as he seems to be. You're getting closer and closer to the town where the love of his life died, and he's been kind of trying to work up the energy or the will to ask Vic something related to this, obviously. So he's going to go ashore, but he has a bit of a haunted look about him. Who else?
Pumpkin? Would Pumpkin want to come? I mean, a chance to be off the ship and
All right, Pumpkin's in.
ratting.
Harlar, Pumpkin, and let's say Catsit. So you all head back ashore and re-meet back up with the Augurs, and they lead you back into the woods, like a couple 100 yards or so, into the forest. And the Verduran forest is straight old school fairy tale forest. Katie and Johnny and I have played in a campaign, the Age of Winter. Age of Winter? Is that what it's called? Reign of Winter.
Reign of Winter.
That starts. The whole big thing begins in this forest, and it is a very Fey-touched place.
I think Barnabas would jump at the chance to be in the woods.
Yes. Great. So Barnabas is joining us as well.
Stasi would like to go, yeah.
Very
just
good.
to see this through with the senator.
Yeah. And they lead you back to this...
As long as she's welcome.
She is. Yeah.
Okay.
Lead you back to this very Robin Hood, Merry Men sort of campsite. Like there's tents and seating and fire pits and stuff, but it all seems like it was set up... it was set up by rangers and designed to be dismantled or hidden in a real hurry. So there's both a feeling of permanence and transience about it, but it is very welcoming. And all in all, there's close to 20 of them as they all gather up there. And as you're walking in amongst this group and you're sort of, shaking hands and meeting folk and meeting other people that are trying to kill you or trying to arrest you in the name of their living God. It just hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
There's this guy standing across the fire who catches your eye right away, Dabwick. It's a human man, like 50-ish, bearded, once like dirty blonde maybe, but now fading to gray. He's dressed in these old clothes that don't fit him very well. Like everything looks like it was made for someone much buffer and fitter than he is. He's really wiry, not an ounce of fat on his bones. And as he moves to approach you, he moves very deliberately, almost like he's trying to get used to his own body.
He's
in a
not
way.
Chester, is he?
Dabwick. Is that you? It is Chester Binlay. Let me give you a picture. I have labeled this picture Chester Binlay 30 days and 13 plus years later.
Oh, wow.
Remind me who Chester is?
He was the guy who was tied to the leaf with the tree tigers.
Oh my god.
He was in his mid 30s when you saw him
Ooh.
30 days ago.
Wow.
And he's now 50 something. And however they kept him alive, it kept him alive, but
Chester, amazing to see you.
they saved my life. These
Wait.
people saved my life. Grip, you big
Chester.
fellow, come here.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Throws his arms around you.
Holy fucking shit.
Do you feel it? Do you feel it? Do you feel the will of the world again?
How did you come to be here?
Hadrana had my body the whole time.
Oh.
She found me 13 years ago, and she has kept me alive until I woke up because of you. He's beside himself with emotion. He was very overwhelmed when you last saw him, and doesn't seem like that's like his normal course of how he runs his life, but he's just like
Every time you
see him, like something intense, incredibly intense.
Well,
is
he's been
going on.
trapped there for...
Yes,
13 years.
13 years.
Are you well?
I'm alive. The next thing for me is to find my my family. Do you have the ability? You're a druid. You said you were a druid, yes?
Yes, yes.
Can you view remotely? Can you? They do not have the ability here to scry. Can you do this?
I can help you. Yes, yes.
I have on my possession. Where is it? It's wait there, Dadwick. And he goes over to a bedroll and he pulls out. He's got a locket with a lock of hair tucked inside of it. I have her hair. Dadwick,
yes.
I can give you a description that's over a decade too old,
yes.
but I can, you will do this for me.
Yes, let's do this. Let's do this tonight.
Very good.
Dadwick, ask him if I can hold the hair.
My friend here is asking to hold your daughters,
This is my wife's.
your wife's hair.
Yes.
Is that all right with you?
Yes. Is Dora all right?
Dora is deaf at the moment.
Adrana is a priestess.
Doris just closes her eyes and shakes her head.
All right.
Time will heal that.
All right. But there is healing magic at their disposal. Anything you need, I'm sure they will provide you. But yes, Dora, yes, you may hold the hair. And it's a lock of dark black hair.
First, she casts Detect Psychic Significance. To see if this is worth doing psychometry on. Or the locket as well, I guess. But it would have to be anything that might help add to the scrying or supplement it or give specifics or any,
I love that. Yeah, I don't think there's a specific story related to it, but if you were to sync, because obviously it is very
Yes,
significant
yeah,
to him.
To him.
Not to
right.
you, but I think if you sank yourself in that significance while Dabs was attempting to cast this spell, you would be
Because
able to.
she would talk in that instance.
Yeah.
It would be uncomfortable for her, but that sort of connection to things and that river of time, I think would transcend the awkwardness of not being able to hear herself, because when she's doing that normally, she's just narrating what she's seeing, and it is a different level of being.
Yes, it's not even like she's hearing herself even. She's a vessel at that point.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when I remember I asked about it at one point, is it something that you can even control in terms of not talking? And you were like, no,
I have to be alone in order to keep it to myself.
Yeah.
So if that would help,
I would definitely parlay that into a bonus on the, or decreasing the will save. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Love it. That's so cool.
That is very fun.
there are other people with psychic magic here, so I think Dora is sort of testing the waters of displaying what she can do in order to make a connection with someone else who might get it, because frankly none of you do. So
it's true.
Yeah, it's a lonely
and there
thing.
are
the only other person she has to talk to about it is Tima, and that doesn't go
difficult.
very well.
Yeah. So there are, amongst the younger Stardust Augurs, these younger women, there is a medium amongst them who actually carries as she acts as a vessel for the spirits of ancient heroes.
That's not what Bates was, though, right? That's a different thing.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't manifest outwardly anything.
Yeah.
But she takes their spirit into her body and allows them to act through her. There is an occultist who has collected ancient relics from various civilizations.
Occultists are cool.
They're so cool. So they channel their power through these ancient relics, and they can cast different kinds of magic from bygone eras and all sorts of very interesting things like that. There's a couple of psychics as well. And amongst these sort of rangery types, it turns out that there are two mesmerists as well. It is a very psychically attuned group of individuals. And
we did have a run-in with one mesmerist.
they would love to
Hear about that,
engage with you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And they, some of them could actually do that mentally as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun.
This feels like a step towards Dora's healing
Oh, sure.
to me. I don't know where in the timeline it is right now, but I think we're
A few days, but this could be
this could be a
switch
catalyst
flipping. Yeah.
to I'm not alone in the world.
Yes. And in fact, you all as dreamwalkers
Are not alone.
are not alone in the world.
Yeah. So I
For
think
the-
this feels very significant to Dora.
For the other psychics, I'm sure that their way into their psychic powers are different than Dora's.
And they would understand, they would have a profound understanding of this thing that you described, Dora is always trying to do things,
Yeah.
always trying to enact
Yeah.
her will on the world.
Sometimes it works.
Sometimes it
Mostly
works, sometimes it doesn't. But their lives have been marked in that same way too. Like for the occultist, it's like laying hands on every
Yeah.
object that she can, trying to see
To
if
gauge the
it
difference and the
holds
subtle-
meaning
yeah.
and power to her that she can access. Like touching everything, wanting to.
This quiet experimentation
Yeah.
in every aspect of
Yeah.
your life, limited only by what you can imagine you can do.
And as that is going on, there are many folks very eager to share some ale with the gripper.
He'll allow it. Just this once, though.
And then you want to get onto the river's edge and try a scry?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was also thinking Dabwick would love to hang out with druids of the forest.
Yeah.
And druids with an interest in Desna
Yeah.
and what that must be like.
It's very different.
Yeah.
So they're not part of the Wildwood Lodge.
Right.
Friendly to them, obviously work with them on the other side of the river, on the other chunk of the forest over there. This forest is so huge. It's like 400 miles across. Wow. But yeah, they come from a completely different tradition. And they're all also, this group of rangers and druids are Andorran. So they grew up in a different country. They grew up in a different place. They have a different history. Most of them have never been to a large city, which is, of course, Dabwick's entire life.
Right,
So there's
right.
a lot to
a lot
share.
of animal companions.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. What kind of animal companions are around there?
So here I'm imagining lots of wolves and bears.
Barnabas might be talked into a song.
Yeah, yes. Oh, they would love it.
I think he's been watching Pumpkin.
Oh,
And so what he's concocting, what I'm picturing is, do you know the song? I don't know if it would be considered a folk song or what, but The Cat Came Back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just verse after verse of the cat getting into misfortune and dying, but then the refrain is, but the cat came back the very next day. So Barnabas is constructing a version of The Cat Came Back about the adventures of Pumpkin, which he shares the 2 or 3 verses that he's got.
Is there like a big bonfire?
yes,
this
for
feels
sure.
like
Yeah, there's a fire pit. Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's awesome.
Yes, and the ale's been passed around. We're singing about the cat. And the cat, you now know, the cat knows very well what is being sung about
Yeah.
him. So he curls up and sits and is nodding and purring appreciatively with the appropriate verses that have
and
him.
he would ask, because he knows what your oral situation is.
Yeah.
So he would try to convey, can you do the thing to me?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then
yeah.
he would have you put your hand
Oh, to
on
feel-
his
to music,
on his
yeah.
back, so you can feel the vibrations
Oh.
as well.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And also just like a piece of simple human connection
Yes.
of which there's so little time for.
Yeah,
Even though you spend all day, every day
Yes.
with all these people,
yeah.
there's just rarely like,
This
I'm
is
just
the
gonna-
anti-ritual. This is
Yes,
the opposite
right.
of chanting gibberish and passing that fucking staircase around as it gets bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier.
Yes.
This is the opposite.
yes.
Sometimes people hang out and they just do this kind of thing.
I've never seen this in my life.
Not in my lifetime, but okay.
Yeah, the number of opportunities that we've had to do something like this
Yeah.
have been
It was like there was Ray and Dora in episode 6.
Yeah. Otherwise, then it's like a funeral that you've gathered
Yeah.
for.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Harlar does find a moment. He's been very quiet this whole experience. He does find a moment to sit down next to you, Vic. I need to ask your help with something.
Yeah, whatever you need.
I don't feel comfortable asking myself, and I'm hoping you will ask for me. Look, Dabwick is a druid. They can bring her back, Vic.
Well, what do you mean?
I know a thing or two about druids. I've seen what Dabwick's been up to. We get in there, we get her body off the property, they can reincarnate her.
Vic's eyes go wide as saucers because he has not even considered the possibility that this is something that Dabwick could do or is capable of.
Harlar seems pretty convinced
They
that they
are
are.
now.
Wow. I'll definitely ask them.
We will have to break the law.
I got no problems with that.
Thank you.
What's the material component for reincarnation? I can't
Yeah, look
remember.
that up, Polly.
A body, a body and some stuff, probably.
I don't think it's like Raise Dead. Like, I don't think you have to have like some big gem or something.
Either, but
What? That's a low enough. That's a.
It's a
fifth
fourth
level.
Fourth
Fourth
level
level
spell.
Fourth level spell.
Oil's worth 1,000 gold pieces.
There we go.
That's
Okay.
what it was, yeah.
Huh.
We used our treasure map,
Right,
Age of Worms, to find the oils that we needed to reincarnate.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And what is the time limit on the? Because I've decided to just not look this up
Okay.
for Harlar's sake. Are you still able? Are you still in a window that you could reincarnate someone who died about 6 months ago?
No, this has to happen within, occurred no more than 1 week before the casting of the spell.
But Harlar doesn't know that.
Harlar does not know that.
Poor buddy.
This was not the story I was intending to tell with this, but now this took a proper Dark Nexus turn.
Good job, guys. We know who we are.
Nobody gets to be happy.
Just stop.
Okay, well, Harlar's left that with Vic
Yeah.
to see if
I mean,
Vic will talk to them about this.
Vic would absolutely try to pick a time sometime tonight
Yeah.
and talk to Dabwick.
Should we go down to the river?
Let's go to the river.
Ah.
Chester is beside himself with excitement.
Oh.
And you know, the story here has been, of course, he wakes up and he immediately wants to run off and find his wife, and they have like, your body is fucked up. You need to rest, you need to heal and recover. We will help you, but you can't just go running off by yourself into the woods. And they don't have anyone here that can cast scrying, so he's just been at his wits' end, and he's just, he's vibrating with excitement.
Is this the sort of thing where like everybody has followed down from the bonfire down to River's Edge, or is this like a
This is a
small
group.
party? Like, would they want to go and hopefully celebrate with him? Would they want to give him space?
I think they give him space, although Hadrana probably would follow, unless she gets maybe give us some privacy vibe from y'all, but she would be inclined to follow. I think it's not too hard to read on her face that she's pretty certain.
They're dead.
It was a long time ago. They were living in the Verduran forest in a very tumultuous time.
Chester, before we begin, I want to caution you. Sometimes these spells show us things we aren't prepared for. I caution you against too much optimism. Be pragmatic.
I understand.
Take a deep breath.
I've been dreaming of you, Dabwick. I was being led through that forest. This is since I woke up. My dreams now, I'm being led through the forest, and I think it's you called it the Enchanted Wood, right?
Yeah.
I'm back there every night, and she's leading me. And I'm pursuing someone, but it's not Calvetta anymore. I do believe it is my wife. That she's leading me back to her. And just this week, she led me to a tiny little frog clinging to the side of a tree, a tiny little tree frog. And I immediately knew it was you, but I had no reason to believe it was actually you. And, I'm a bit nervous about telling these folks about what I see in my dreams and the form that Desna takes for me, because they see meaning in everything. Sometimes where there might not be meaning to find. But it is their pursuit. It's their life's pursuit. But it was you, Dabwick. So, I believe that you are here to show me the truth. No more, no less. She's alive or she is not. And there will be great comfort in knowing the truth.
We will face that truth together.
Thank you, my friend. The will be good.
So Dabwick looks to Dora. You have the
The lock of hair.
lock of hair.
So she understands that this can't tell him anything about what happened since it was removed from her head, right?
Right.
So she is leaning into getting an idea of who she was and what he has imbued this hair with since then, his memories of her. She's using it obviously mechanically as a tool to help Dabwick scry if she's out there, but also as a way of saying goodbye if that is the case.
So as this ritual begins, which we know takes an hour,
Yeah.
and as he is describing his wife to you, how she looked 13 years ago, using words which would give Dabwick essentially second-hand knowledge of the subject. But as Dora begins contributing to this, sinking in to the memories of her embedded in this hair and embedded in his love of her, and as she begins psychically communicating to you telepathically what she is seeing, the deeper and deeper this ritual goes, the more and more you will be able to approach this subject as someone that you know well. Because there has been information shared about her that transcends language and transcends your own experience. And the farther you get into this ritual, you know what you're going to see before it is revealed to you. As the spell completes, the mist on the river parts, and you are looking down on J-Dove, who is staring up at your magical sensor. And Chatterley, she's alive! She's alive! Oh, thank the will! She's alive!
J-Dove is your wife?
Jaylin is her name. It was her name. You know her?
I know her as J-Dove. She sent me on this journey.
Tabak, the form that Desna has been taking with me this last week is the shape of a dove. The dove led me to the frog. You have led me back to her. Can she see me? Can she see me?
No. She only sees the sensor.
She looks up at the sensor, somehow right into your eyes, and she mouths, "Thank you."
Damn it. Your wife is alive, my friend.
Do you know my daughter?
No.
Well, she would be a teenager at this point. Perhaps she lives elsewhere, has a life of her own. You never knew J-Dove. You never knew her to have a child.
Dabwick's eyes haven't strayed from maintaining eye contact through the scry.
With J-Dove?
With J-Dove.
Yeah.
Just staring. No.
And she knows. She knows. She is visibly feeling the weight of that stare.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. I thought I did. But you'll have to teach me.
You know where she lives?
Casimir.
Is that where you're headed?
That's where we're headed.
May I join you?
We'll have to talk to the captain. We've been taking on a lot of passengers lately. But I'm sure it won't be a problem.
Tabak, whatever she did, whatever you have suffered, we will make it right.
Oh, thanks. I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Dora lays a hand on Dabuk's shoulder.
Hadrana steps over, takes Chester and his energy back up to the fire to leave Dabwick be as this spell is coming to an end, recognizing that he can't help but contain his gratitude and his excitement, and that might not be the healthiest thing for you to be exposed to at this particular moment in time.
And Vic sees Chester coming up with a giant smile on his face. He's like, oh,
This is a perfect time.
so he sort of, ambles down.
He's like, so,
Vic.
found his wife, huh?
Vic. Not now. And I don't know if I can do this, but I think just to Vic,
Uh-huh.
Dora says,
Sure, yeah.
It's J-Dove,
What?
Chester's wife.
Are you shitting me?
I'm not shitting you.
Dabwick looks up at Vic, who's speaking to the air. No one else is talking.
I feel like what this is he's not talking, but it's that thing that like all actors do when they're like running a monologue
Yeah,
internally
he's
and
making
stuff.
the faces.
And and someone like looks at them like, what is wrong with you? And they're like,
running your lines on
you're
the
running
subway.
exactly
Yes.
as your face contorts through all the different emotional beats of the
Yes.
scene and stuff. And
And Dora's just looking at him like,
No,
their eyes wide
no.
open, like, no, stop, please, stop, not now.
and so Vic is like now trying to sort of like slowly turn awkwardly and just move himself out of here.
Dabwick catches Vic. Vic, what? Was there something?
Yeah, but we can talk about it later.
No, it's fine. There's no time like the present.
Oh,
Pile it on.
Why not?
And so he looks over at Dora.
She shrugs. Two hands in the air.
So, well, I'm just going to say it. Harlar was wondering if you could reincarnate his lost love.
If I put a coin in you, what do I get?
Poor Harlar.
Yeah, he's a little... Also, I didn't know you could reincarnate anybody. That's pretty cool.
But there's limitations on it. I'm gonna talk to him.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by limitations?
Well, if she's been dead more than a week, and I think she has, there's nothing I can do.
Ah, shit.
But you don't have to be the one.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
No, it's all right.
You got enough on your plate.
Well, we all have our burdens to carry, don't we?
Yeah.
But please, I've known Allah for some time. Give me a chance.
Hey, if you want to take a bite of that shit sandwich, I'm not going to stop you.
How poetic.
As you all make your way back up, Hadrana does look to sit down for a bit with Dora, and she sort of gestures like, can you include me in your
Sure.
shoom? My guess is you are the one who takes them there?
Yes, I am.
Is the way you do it a secret you cannot share?
It is a secret I think is very dangerous to share. Our experiences have been quite traumatic
Do you have control over where you land,
to a limited degree.
but only to dangerous places?
Yes.
I understand. Is it a spell? What is it?
It is a ritual. A dangerous ritual in and of itself.
Is it transmorphable? Can it be altered?
I don't know. If I had more time, that is something I would enjoy delving into.
Would you accept this from me? She reaches into a belt pouch and she pulls out a small painting of her. And she presses it into your hand. And then she holds a hand over her holy symbol, and you see the image of her on the painting come to life and start moving. And the lips are moving on this picture, but of course you can't hear it. And then you hear it in your mind, oh, of course, you probably can't hear what I'm saying to you, but the image can speak, it can see, I can see what it sees. I can do this only on a limited basis, but if you carry this on your person, I can check in with you from time to time. If you reach a point where you are ready to share the secret with me, if you reach a point where you learn enough that you feel it is safe enough to share it with me, I ask nothing of you, but that you allow me to pursue you as a resource, even if ultimately your answer is no. My entire life has been devoted to this. My goddess walks that realm.
She doesn't, though, right? What is the deal with Desna? She can't help us.
By doing the ritual, you cut yourself off from Desna.
Do I feel comfortable saying that? But it's true. It would be one of the things that would have to be transmorphed, as you said. It would have to, that's one of the things that they would have to find their way around.
Just that she'd have to be able to be okay with.
Right.
Right, but the whole point is to get closer to
commune,
the prophecy.
right.
Yeah. So I think Dora will say, I will take this if you can part with it. But I must warn you, the very nature of the way we enter the Dreamlands severs contact and protection from Desna herself. I am not sure it would give you what you seek.
She is clearly deeply troubled.
Yes. You understand now when I say it is dangerous what we do. I am not exaggerating.
You were outside for protection when you were there that way.
Yes.
You obviously know so much more of these matters than my entire sect has for its entire existence. If you learn anything that could be useful to us, that could be safe to us, whatever it may be, however small, anything you can share, I would be grateful for, and I understand. You do not wish to put us or anyone else in danger. And I respect that. But I must at least ask you if you will share anything you can over time. No pressure right now. I understand. You are in the middle of something here.
It is not in my nature to deny anyone who wishes to seek knowledge or understanding. I will not put you at risk, but I am myself curious. And should I ever have the time to explore this further, perhaps that will direct my studies. And I will, of course, share anything I feel is safe.
You have my gratitude.
What have you learned?
We have learned to become lucid, reliably almost every time we dream. And our great project has been, for the most part, this. She goes and she has... she has...
Mad poet here.
in one of the wagons that is just outside of this collection of tents and fire pits and so forth, there is a wagon that is just filled with dozens and dozens of books that seem to be the logs of every Stardust Augurs experiences anytime they've ever been lucid in the Dreamlands.
This is where Dora's going to retire, right? Should she survive this adventure.
This is their holy relic.
Is
right?
this another library?
Yes, if you had access to it for
Months.
Days?
presumably months.
Yeah.
Months.
Not days. It's like one person, like I dreamed I was walking down the street in this city and this is what I saw.
99% of it is going to be garbage.
Or
that
just
there's
like
something in there that's like
context, detail, right?
Yeah.
One person may have walked from Celophaeus to
I
the edge of
wonder
the sea and seen something.
how many times pumpkin appears in those books. I'm going to want an answer to that at the end of the campaign.
Dora, do you share any of this with us?
She will eventually, but I think she's not like, she's focused on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
priestess for now.
Yeah.
But when she comes back, she'll tell you what she certainly thinks it's important that you all know what she revealed and why, and what she didn't and why not, which you probably can all guess. So,
And then you're going to hang on to that little portrait.
yeah.
Great. So Dabs is going to eat the shit sandwich.
Eat the shit sandwich, yeah. Dabwick would try to get Harlar's attention with a nod and gesture, take a walk with me. And assuming that Harlar's following, just take the lead and walk and wait for Harlar to catch up.
Yeah. He packs a pipe and joins you.
Friend, I'm not able to do what you ask. I'll say it right out front. And it's not because I don't want to, because I can't. It's been too long. It's been too long since she passed.
I'm not ready to let her go, Dabs.
Oh, friend. I know.
In time, is there any hope?
I don't know about that kind of hope. The hope that you wish for. She may come back, but not in the way that you knew her. We have to find our way every day. And sometimes we have to find our way alone. For a time. I don't know that I can help you with this, except to tell you that you've got to continue your walk. I'll be here with you for a couple more weeks, and then when we get to Casimir, maybe we need to take a long shore leave.
Yeah, it's just been no privacy, no space for a very long time, Dabs. Maybe that's what I need right now. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I had to have Vic asked you. I just felt a little embarrassed.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of
It's okay.
a shitty thing to ask a friend.
It's not. It's all right. Tell you what. When next time I change shape, maybe I can take you with me, and you can get a little respite from the boat. Would you come with me?
That sounds remarkable. I don't breathe water, though.
No, you could ride on me back. And
All right.
float.
All right. All right, I'm in.
We'll get through this. We will. It feels like hell now, but we will.
Thank you, Dabs.
I think that Vic sort of sees them wander off and sees them sort of like standing close to one another, and maybe sees Dab like put their arm on Harlar, and sees Harlar obviously taking this news and stuff, but that he's in good hands with Dabs, and looks around and sees everybody kind of laughing and enjoying this bonfire, and everyone's alive, and like the stars are above us in this clearing and stuff. And he's reminded of, even though we've only been alive for days, weeks, months at this point, that this is still meant to be just enjoyed. And he tries to sort of like turn off that part of his brain that's always thinking and cataloging and assessing threats and assessing, like what's the next thing that has to get done, and try to almost go back to that place that he was in when he thought that he was still existing in a dream, where everything was easy and the grind was over, and just try to enjoy the now.
Yeah. Late in the evening, Chester does sidle up next to the Gripper. Grip, I fear I've put Dabwick through something, not through any intent of my own, but still, I want to show my gratitude to the four of you for all you've done for me, and I don't wish to bother them. Can I bother you?
Absolutely.
How much has he been drinking?
I think he's been doing a fair bit of ale drinking and pipe smoking, staring at the fire tonight.
I've got two things for you. If you would pass these along to those who need it.
Of course.
He takes off a very fine gold ring off of his finger. Not a wedding band, but it seems to faintly glow in the night light here at the edge of the firelight. He hands it over to you. I think my days of getting use out of this are over. And also this as well. And he pulls a long beechwood, looks like a beechwood wand, essentially out of a pouch. I'm not sure which of you can make use of this, but please do make use of it.
What are these?
Well, this is a ring of protection. It's a ring of protection +2. And a wand of break enchantment with 34 charges.
Oh my god. Who can you...
These are
These are princely gifts.
These are no trifles.
Inquisitor!
These are no trifles, friend.
My life has been restored to me. What few days I have remaining to me, I'm going to spend with my wife and my daughter if she lives. These should go to someone who can make use of them. I'm going to live this life that you have given me. I'm going to live it, Grip. I'm going to live it! He hugs you.
All right then. All right. It's I don't quite know what to make of finding you here. It's finding you here after the way we left you. It feels uncomfortably like something hopeful. And I don't fucking trust things that feel hopeful. But I wish nothing but the best for you and your wife. I thank you for these gifts. We will put them to good use, son.
Watch for the dove in your dreams. Watch for the dove. Watch for the dove! He runs off.
You don't know the half of my fucking dreams, son. He says to the fire.
Yes.
Pop, crackle, crackle, pop, pop.
By the end of this night, before heading back, do you sleep here or do you sleep on the ship?
Dora would want to sleep here.
One night's rest off that ship?
Not in the fucking hammock or whatever.
I think Grip goes to the hammock.
Yeah.
Right, the ship.
Okay. Okay.
He's the same.
Barnabas sleeps outside.
Yes.
Barnabas definitely sleeps outside.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Grip's like, I miss the hammock.
Yeah, I think Stasi probably walks back with Grip, just because this is Desnan's. They're kind of. I don't think she feels completely comfortable. She likes like watching the other. She makes herself an outsider.
Yeah,
that's her job.
Yeah.
So she likes watching for a while, but I think ultimately she's like, somebody should be back there just in case. Grip is a little bit trashed.
You would see Katz and see what's up with Harlar and walk him back to the ship as well. They'll crash there. Dabwick?
I think Dabwick's enchanted and wants to stay.
Use the wand. It's got lots of charges.
And Vic?
I think that Vic has been literally sort of like had his back and head against like a big log next to the fire.
Yeah.
And, maybe has Pumpkin curled up next to him and has just been having a drink and like talking about the nature dreams and stuff like that, and just the fire is dying down. And like if the camera were to pan away, it would pan back and he was like, his head is tilted back and he's just snoring peacefully.
Nice.
And I think Dora stays up very late watching people fall asleep one by one. To her, this is like a silent movie, and I think while what she sees really warms her, she aches to hear the sound of the fire dying and the laughter and the singing. What a great gift Barnabas gave her by giving her a different kind of music, but at the same time, she's really feeling the peace that came with the sanity damage disappearing, but the madness lingering, which brought a kind of quietness that she needed. She's beginning to feel like, I've had enough.
Yeah. Yep. So the next day, before the Sullen Starling heads back down the river, you say goodbye, get the thanks again from Senator Daldemain, who does remind Skywind that he's going to work to see that her docking fees are waived for 5 years or as many as he can make happen, and reminds you again to check in at the Temple of Abadar in Casimir, and that there will be a reward waiting for you as well for saving his life and the life of his companions against those bounty hunters. And Skywind is fine with Chester joining the trip. So Chester is now bunking on the ship and is probably going to be, boy, space is at such a premium. Probably he and Nixon will be, because they'll be sleeping on different schedules, will probably be now sharing that little corner of the aft of the hold downstairs. The next several days of sailing down the broad Sullen River pass uneventfully. The 11th, the 12th, the 13th of Abadius. Let's get one sailor check and one limerick, if we can, for these 3 days real quick. For the gripper.
For the gripper. It's an 11. He squeaked it by.
Squeaked it by.
He was a little fuzzy the first day after he hadn't had that much ale.
Yeah, a little
while.
hungover.
Yeah.
Yes, a little gruff.
Hey everybody.
Hey there.
Hey, it's me, Stanhope here.
Hi.
Yeah. Got another limerick. This is a more recent one.
Dora keys into grip for this.
Now the game is watching Grip's reaction.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally understand.
Back in the day we did crimes, though mine were committed against rhymes. But those bodies all over the deck, piled right up to my neck, made me feel just like old times. Thank you.
It's not bad. It's not bad. There's a scansion thing that Grip doesn't know how to verbalize.
But in general.
But in general, I like the imagery quite a bit.
Thank you, Seaman.
Then at the end of the 14th of Abadius, the 65th day on the boat, at mile mark 909, let's make a mechanical check to see how Dora weathers this day. This is the day that Dora can make her check to see if she can remove her greater madness. Now, both Dabwick, who has been dealing with Dora on the therapy side, and Vic, who has been paying very careful attention to her progress in healing, would know that this is the day. And during the course of the day, you would know, like, sort of the one thing you have at your disposal to help with this would be a restoration, not lesser, but a restoration cast on her sometime during the course of the day would reduce the save DC that Dora's going to have to make today by 2, if that's a resource that you wish to use.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it.
And Stassi will make a caster level check.
One thing that Vic would definitely do sometime today is he would, in his thing of checking out Dora, he would go, hey, and he would, I guess he would write it out, or you telepathically?
Yeah, she's doing things telepathically.
Yeah, so just so you know, I had a chance to talk to some of the druids in the woods, and they gave me a vial of something that they said might help kind of like work its way through. So you mind if I put these drops in your ears?
She shakes her head enthusiastically.
Yeah.
And, just like has you lean, drop. Okay, lean the other way. drop. Now, I just want you to just lie here for a little while and let it kind of work its way in for maybe about 15 minutes. And I want you to turn over to the other side and let it work its way in, okay?
Dora's looking at Vic and nodding. Stasi on the other side of Dora is looking at Vic like, the fuck are you talking about? This is not, she doesn't say anything. But she doesn't quite get what's happening. So she looks to Vic. Should I cast this now?
Oh, yeah, you can do that too. This should probably help, though.
18 on the caster level check.
Successfully casting Restoration, which will drop that will save DC for Dora. Oh, here we go, Katie. It's been half a month of insanity. And
So she's doing exactly what Vic said. I think she even missed Stasi casting the spell.
Barely aware
This is
of it.
all about she's really focusing on feeling the drops working their way in. She's visualizing how they are opening things up and how they are clearing the way, and she imagines her deafness as this purple fungal
yes,
thing in her head, and that the drops are like eating away at them, and to the letter of whatever Vic said, 15 minutes, blah blah blah, do this, 15 minutes of that. At that moment, the world snaps back into Claire, and she covers her ears. It's so loud.
it's so loud all of a sudden.
And she just looks up at Vic and reaches out and thank you.
I told you we'd take care of you.
Thank you. And she looks to Dabwick. Thank you for being there. Thank you. And Stasi's just standing there like, what the fuck? She just turns around, walks up the stairs lighting a cigarette. As she goes.
I literally never get anything.
Just like, whatever. Just here to cast spells and break enchantments now, I guess. Yeah. That's Dora weeps for a little bit and then says, we need to finish what we have begun.
Back into the dream tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, tonight.
So then that night, you gather below decks for your 13th foray into the Dreamlands. Dora now gets to add +6 to her checks, thanks to Stasi taking that 5th level of Inquisitor. So let's start with a Knowledge Arcana check.
Natural 20 for a 44.
Yes, the staircase is making its way around. One more.
34.
Heavier and heavier, larger and larger. Knowledge planes.
33. I don't think that I can fail anymore.
Oh, that's exciting. And at the end of 15 minutes, the stairs tumble out of your hands, land on the deck, transform into an actual stairwell descending into darkness after you speak the code phrase designed to take you to the drug den Shuzu in the city of Dilathleen. The stairs morph into this faded, pale blue-gray color, and the coloring seems to evolve and swim and murk and billow, almost as if the stairs were actually made of glass, behind which is a cloud of blue-gray smoke. And after the unsettling period of time you spend descending these stairs, walking the dead roads between worlds, something sticks with Dora, Grip, and Vic. It's that bell again, but this time it is a massive, cacophonous ringing that feels like it's clattering on the inside of your skull, and you all see a grim granite cell with a curved wall, and there's a woman in it, a huddled female form, chained up against this curved wall. She's got dark, leathery, sun-blasted skin. She's got white hair. She's cowering under these pale rags, and then, shoo! you materialize in a seedy, packed, smoke-filled drug den. Or did you simply materialize? No. When you think back, and thinking's a little hard. You can almost remember having been there for several days, man. Lying about on the cushions, high out of your mind.
I'm going to get you so high.
Get this, Gripper. You've been imagining yourself on a river, traveling to the sea, reading children's books, listening to janitors tell tall tales and rhyme, watching these roly-poly twins swinging from ropes, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there, but, all trips come to an end, and so has yours. So here you are, back on your feet, back in your home, back where you belong. Sadly, now it's time to probably head out. Wait, were you leaving? Or just going to find more drugs? Or did you just arrive? It's not super easy to remember. How do each of you appear?
Dora's dressed in scarves, basically, that make an outfit, know?
Yeah.
And in a headdress and very Moroccan kind of, not deserty, but piratey.
Yeah.
Opium denish.
Opium denny.
Yeah, in blues and rich dark jewel toned blues and purples and gold accents.
Nice.
Dabwick is dressed in an open shirt and flowy pants and pirate sleeves,
Yeah.
big poofy sleeves.
Are they a halfling?
And they are a halfling.
Okay.
I didn't want to ruin your mojo, but I had specifically picked an extract that I would have tried to have drank before I stepped down the stairs, remembering that I was the one that specifically stole the Heartstone away from the hag.
Yeah.
Which would have been False Face.
Tell us about that.
All right. This spell alters details of your appearance so that you are no longer recognizable as yourself. Your new appearance is within the norms for your race, ethnicity, and gender. You lack control over the details of your appearance. However, when casting False Face, you can choose an appearance you previously used, allowing you to maintain specific identities.
An identity you've previously used. Okay. What level spell is this?
It is level 1, but it lasts hours per level.
All right, so what do you look like?
Kind of like a teenage, slightly chubby, pimples, curly hair. He looks a little bit like Philip Seymour Hoffman in Boogie Nights.
Oh, okay. I can picture that.
Where he's kind of got the shirt that's too tight. Or no, what it actually is, it's like an open vest. And some tight pants kind of thing, and maybe some boots, and a lot of jangly bracelets and stuff. His bag now is one of those sort of messenger bags thrown over his shoulder.
This has to be an identity that you have used before. Okay.
It doesn't have to be an identity that I've used before. This could be the first time that he looks like this.
Okay. Alrighty.
I think Grip is, he's wearing olive drab fatigue pants, but that are all very faded, very worn. No shoes, they're rolled up. He's got a t-shirt and a olive drab army camo vest, but with the sleeves ripped off, and a red headband. He's basically like Willem Dafoe in Platoon.
Oh, amazing.
As your eyes adjust, you're surrounded by smoke. You're surrounded by bodies. It is a chaos of movement and aroma and sight, and it's a riot of sharp rays of light coming from magical objects, piercing clouds of smoke, and people covered in glowing things, and people of all these people that are blue and people that are purple and people that are red. As your eyes are adjusting to this, there's a young woman passes right in front of you, clearly a server here. She's human. She's maybe around 20 years old, holding a tray currently empty. She's in a getup that's like halfway between ye old tavern wench and Princess Leia in the golden bikini. It's like hyper-sexualized, kind of grossly so. And this young woman with very pale blue skin, just like those blue gentlemen that you find on the Bloodwind, with neon blue hair, long neon blue hair back in a braid, is kind of swooping past you as you materialize. And she whatever was her experience of you just materializing there, she seems surprised and she turns, she looks at the four of you, cocks her head at this person that Vic is disguised as, and she says, "Dad?" And that's the end of chapter 142. We'll pick up next time.
Wow.
Dark Nexus is produced by Plug and Hum Productions. This podcast uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Incorporated, used under Paizo's fan content policy. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, please visit paizo.com. That's Paizo.com. Dark Nexus uses music and soundscapes by Syrinscape. Check them out at Syrinscape.com. That's Syrinscape.com. Opening and closing themes, along with additional music composed by Rob Kauzlaric. Artwork for Dark Nexus is by Matt Wahlquist. And thanks to DMCP, Richard and Ari, Paul and Shannon, Scotty, Jason, Jess, Joe, Chelsea, Matt, Dave, Derek, Darren, Michaela, JH, the Biscuit Buddies, and everyone we've gamed with over the years for all the memories and inspiration. I can take a knowledge of what?
That planes?
I'll let you know in a second.
No, I want to know now.
Oh my fucking god.
Arcana history of planes.
Or dungeoneering.
Religion, local,
Nature.
engineering.
Tell us what it is.
This is so helpful, you guys.